Thank you for joining us. We're so excited to have you here. We know things are busy with Easter, Mother's Day, all these holidays on the horizon. So thank you so much for your time today. My name is Grace, and I'm on our brand team here at Faire, and I'm joined by my colleague David as well. We work closely with brands at Faire to help you make the most out of the tools and resources available to you. And today, our session is designed for brands already running the promoted listings who want to better understand their performance and what those numbers mean and how to improve month over month. We'll focus on practical signals and clear actions you can walk away with today. Now, we would love for this session to be interactive, so feel free to submit questions through the Q&A feature, and we'll do our best to answer those in real time. And we'll also save a few minutes at the end for some common questions and answers as well. And we are recording this session, and we'll be sending out the deck and resources to all of you afterward. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Today, we'll cover four main topics. The first one is your results and benchmarks and what to expect from your promoted listings results. Second, we'll look at how to interpret your key metrics and take action. Third, seasonal opportunities and retailer search trends. And lastly, that time at the end for some FAQs. And now I'll hand it over to David to walk you through these.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Grace. Now we're really going to dive into your results, benchmarks, and really evaluating your overall performance with promoted listings and what metrics should matter to you most as you look at this. But before we do pop into that, I do want to pop a quick poll into the chat here and would love to hear from the group what type of advertising you're doing today. That poll will show up in the top right next to the chat. All right, let's see some of these polls come through here. Looks like we have some people doing Google ads and Meta ads, that had just started, have been doing them for more than 6 months, a couple for more than a year. That's really great to see. We've got a variety of people here in kind of different stages of their experience with advertising. So excited to get into that. But do you want to start with the baseline of how promoted listings works is that we're really looking to expand your overall impressions by putting you in high visibility positions in front of high intent retailers. And this in turn will lead to higher views of your products, more clicks, and more orders from here, leading to an increase in overall sales. And I've been really glad with the results so far. On average, teams that leverage promoted listings see a 70% increase in product views in search and category pages, as well as a 25% increase in sales compared to their organic performance alone. And this is really overall, so I do want to get into your own personal analytics overview and what metrics to focus on most here. So when reviewing your analytics, I would recommend focusing on 4 core metrics here. The first one's going to be total ad sales. So this is going to be inclusive of the sales you've seen from new customer ads, as well as returning customer ads. The second one's going to be your total ad spend. So based on your monthly budget, how much of your ad spend have we used to date? The third one's going to be total conversions, and this is inclusive of all of the customers you've acquired, both new and returning through ads. And lastly, and most importantly, you're going to see blended first-year return on ad spend. And I'm going to harp on this a lot throughout, but this is the real value of wholesale advertising on Faire, driving long-term value and returning customers for your organization. So let's take a step back really quick and just discuss the difference between D2C and wholesale advertising on Faire. With D2C advertising, the main goal is really to get in those first-time orders. But when it comes to wholesale advertising on Faire, while getting in those first orders is great, the real benefit comes from the lifetime value that you're creating with each successive reorder. Wholesale is relationship based. You're not just driving one transaction, you're looking to build repeat buyers. And each time you get a reorder from a customer acquired through ads, you're actually increasing the value of that initial acquisition cost. So while return on ad spend is the most important metric to evaluate, you'll also be able to see how ads are accelerating your growth on Faire. Under the New Customers tab in your Promoted Listings Analytics, you'll see your incremental lift versus your organic baseline. You'll see it broken down both by overall sales and new customers. And if ads are driving additional growth beyond what you would normally see, this is a really strong signal of success. And like I had mentioned before, it's really important to view wholesale differently than D2C. Wholesale is really going to be relationship based. You're not just generating one transaction, you're looking to build repeat buyers. So that means everything from your average order value to your reorder rate really ties into the lifetime value you're creating, and they all matter when evaluating your return on investment. So let's move into the different signals in your account to consider for improving your overall performance. Before we hop into that, I do want to have one more quick poll here to understand how long teams have been using Faire's promoted listings to date. Awesome. So we've had some teams that just started, a couple of teams that have been doing it for at least a quarter, and some teams that are at the 6-month and a year mark. We're really going to focus on 3 key levers here. The first one's going to be budget pacing and assessing your monthly spending limit. The second one's going to be relevance in search and how do we increase that over time and increase that overall discoverability of your products. And then the last one's going to be conversion optimization. So how do we really look to improve that conversion rate and make sure that we're turning those interested customers into consistent reorders of your brand? So we're going to start with balancing spending limits or how you're pacing to your maximum budget. I do want to take a step back here and actually provide a bit of an example of a brand that set a spending limit of $960. You'll notice here that, as of May 10th of this month, they had only spent about $300 of that. Let's say, for example, throughout the rest of the month, we've only spent about $600 of that $960 monthly spending limit. And this is a question I get a lot from brands. Why isn't my whole spending limit being used? One common misconception is that if we aren't using your entire spending limit, that brands often think they might be doing something wrong, and this is actually not the case. Keep in mind that we have a pay-per-click model, and what this means is that it actually takes a retailer to click on one of your promoted listings to deduct from your monthly ad spend, and because it takes a retailer clicking on your product for us to deduct from your monthly budget, we may not use up your entire spending limit each month. And here's some helpful guidance on interpreting that overall usage. If we're using up 70% or more of your budget, this is actually a strong signal of opportunity that if we had a higher budget to utilize, we could have put you in front of even more retailers. In these cases, I would consider increasing your budget by up to 20% or more to test that incremental growth. And if we're utilizing below 70% of that budget, this is still totally normal, but if that performance isn't where you like, it may be time to revisit some foundational elements. So I do want to tackle a couple of quick FAQs here on spending limits and ad spend. So first off, how do we determine the recommended budget? In short, the recommended budget is actually personalized to your own brand, and it is based on your recent ads performance and the demand available. Our recommendation is the amount we believe you could spend at a similar efficiency level that is not likely to have a significant impact on your overall cost per acquisition. And to maximize results to what you are seeing today, we'd recommend setting your budget within that range. Second question here, what if I want to prioritize more growth? If you actually place your spending limit above your recommended budget, that will signal to our system that you're interested in being a bit more aggressive with your advertising. We'll be more aggressive in spending that budget and get you in front of more retailers. And as your results increase, you may see a higher cost per click or cost per acquisition. For brands that really do want to prioritize growth, though, I'd suggest increasing your budget above your recommended amount and reevaluate in 1 to 2 months to see those results. And last question here, how is my limit going to be used throughout the month? Your spending limit's actually going to be paced across the course of each month, making sure that we don't over-index early in the month or over-index later in the month and run out of opportunity throughout the course. So just as an example, if your spending limit were to be set at $300, most often it's going to average out to about $10 of budget use per day. And if your spending limit were to be set at $3,000, it'll average out to about $100 of use per day. I do want to hop into the wholesale buying calendar here. And as with most industries, wholesale buying really does follow predictable seasonal waves, albeit a few weeks sooner than your typical D2C channels. And on here, you can see that we just passed the peak for Valentine's buying and are headed towards the peak for Easter and spring buying. And during these high traffic times, depending on your brand's products, this could actually be a really great time to increase your budget if your products are seasonally relevant. I've been working with a ton of chocolate brands recently that have looked to increase their spend for Valentine's Day and Easter. And if you're more of a summer-focused brand, you could consider front-loading your budget earlier in the year to take advantage of that increase in visibility, as well as both fair markets are a great time to increase that spend as well. Overall, I'd recommend using this wholesale calendar as a directional guide, but review your own brand and when you think might be best to adjust your budget accordingly. And overall, you should really align your spend with the natural demand curve of your brand to improve that efficiency. So next thing we're going to touch on here is increasing your overall relevance in search. First off, I do want to start by looking at what impressions can tell us. And impressions really reflect how often your products appear in retailer search results. So I always recommend looking at trends over a quarter and not just month to month. If your impressions are flat, this means that everything is stable with your brand, and you could consider increasing your budget or optimizing your listings if growth is the overall goal. If you're seeing declining impressions, this could likely be due to a foundational issue, and I'd really recommend evaluating your product titles, feature images, as well as pricing. And we're going to get into this more in a second. And if you're seeing increasing impressions, this is obviously super positive. It could be due to improved optimization by iterating on product titles and images. It could reflect seasonality, or it could just show increased demand for your product within the marketplace. One thing to keep in mind here, though, is that seasonal fluctuation is totally normal. I would recommend focusing on your overall trend direction. So one question here that we get a lot is what factors actually impact my visibility? And there's actually going to be 6 main factors that help to influence your search visibility. So the first one's going to be having a complete shop profile, things like brand tags, ship from details, and a full catalog. Second is going to be clear, searchable product titles and descriptions. For product titles, specifically ask yourself, if the retailer couldn't see the image, would the title alone really describe the product clearly? And just as an example for that, if you were to be a necklace brand, instead of having the title Camilla Love Necklace, I would recommend using a title that's more like gold-plated 12-inch Camilla Heart Charm Necklace. This kind of clarity really drives discoverability on Faire. And then the third impact for visibility here is going to be traffic on your shop page, both internal and external. And one of the best ways to increase that traffic is through Faire Direct. The more Faire Direct orders you get, the more it's going to provide our system with more information about who your ideal retailers are to also make smarter matches for you within the marketplace itself as well. Fourth is going to be seller performance, things like shipping, communication, and overall reliability. Fifth is going to be accurate categories and tags. And lastly, make sure to have high quality, consistent images. This helps to build trust with retailers, and it makes it easier for them to visualize their products on your shelf. Second question here that I get a lot is about excluding certain items for promoted listings. While you can do this, I actually strongly recommend advertising your full product catalog for promoted listings, unless it's for reasons such as low inventory, seasonality, or low margin products. And just a quick note on why having your full catalog available for promoted listings is really important. The more products you have available for promotion, the more retailers we will be able to reach through those products. And overall, just because an item might be clicked doesn't mean that the retailer will actually end up ordering that specific product. You can think of each of your listings really as the gateway to get retailers onto your site. And the more opportunities that we have to do that, the more success you're going to see through promoted listings. For things like SEO, we actually have a plethora of self-service resources on our blog and at learn.faire.com. There's awesome resources on there that can help all of you guys to stay competitive in the marketplace and increase your discoverability. And overall, just remember with SEO that clarity really does help to drive discoverability. So wanted to touch a bit more on how to drive traffic to your Faire store through Faire Direct. And as a reminder, Faire Direct really allows you to capture commission-free sales from leads that you generate. And it's going to send strong signals back to the marketplace and helps improve your visibility. And it's going to eventually help to match you to the right retailers because it's providing our algorithm with more information about who your ideal customer is. And one of the reasons I harp on it so much with teams is it's really the one tool that will help you both outside of Faire and inside of Faire. And this external engagement really helps both organic ranking and ad performance too. Next thing we're going to touch on here is how do we increase that conversion rate? So two things I want to touch on here are clicks and conversions, right? Clicks overall are really going to signal curiosity and interest with your products, while as conversions signal the building of trust, right? If your clicks are low, I would recommend evaluating your image quality, revisit titles, as well as pricing positioning. And if clicks are strong, but conversions might be low, I would recommend reviewing things like catalog completeness, check your first order minimums and shipping incentives, assess merchandising. This could be a great place to utilize collections, as well as look at your different fulfillment signals with shipping. Overall, though, remember that wholesale conversions really represent long-term relationships, and you want to build this trust, not just single transactions. To see which products are actually driving conversions, you're going to go to your new or returning customers tab in the brand portal. In the promoted listings analytics tab, you'll locate the order, and then you're going to hover over add click date. You'll see which product initially drove that engagement. This can help you really to identify your high performing SKUs that are benefiting from your strategy or are in demand. We'll also continue to iterate and experiment on ways that we can deliver value to you through more analytics. So continue to stay tuned there and feel free to provide feedback in the survey at the end about things that you want to see. So we really covered a lot today, and I do want to leave you with some core takeaways on building trusts with your brand. And it really all starts with making sure that your Faire shop is always ready to convert. So here are 5 different things that I recommend, some of which we already went through today. But the first one is going to be maintaining a fresh catalog that's complete and up to date. Retailers really notice when things might be outdated, which could prevent them from completing their order. Second, have search-friendly product titles and really accurate descriptions. Think about what words a retailer could use for that particular product and add in different seasonal keywords when relevant. Third, have at least 4 high-quality images or videos per product. Let the retailer be able to visualize those different products on their shelves, and it makes it easier for them to say yes. Fourth, really create an elevated customer experience through collections. Collections really help to help your buyers to shop with context. A lot of the collections I've been seeing recently are things like new arrivals, bestsellers, and different seasonal collections as well, like a Mother's Day collection, an Earth Day collection, a summer collection as well. These are great ways to show what might be most relevant at a given time of the year. And our data shows that brands who actually use collections see 4 times more sales than those who don't. And lastly, make sure to stay on top of your customer service metrics. These are really signals of the customer experience you're creating, and they also directly impact your ranking on the platform. So you'll want to ensure that these metrics are in the green to provide the best retailer buying experience and to maximize your exposure. You can review your progress in these areas under the analytics section of your brand portal and even get recommendations on how to improve where needed. Lastly, I do want to touch base here on some seasonal trends that brands like yours can really look to capitalize on right now. So, revisiting this wholesale buying calendar, we're currently moving into Easter and spring buying, and now is really the time to optimize titles and collections with spring and Easter language in mind. So, just to show you a couple of the recent trending search terms here, we've got things like Easter, Mahjong, sunglasses, chocolate, Mother's Day. And for you all, I would recommend thinking about ways that you can really incorporate these into your titles, descriptions, as well as your collections to meet that retailer demand where it makes sense for your products. Awesome. We are going to have a quick little session for Q&As here. Just waiting on some questions to come in, so keep those coming.
All right,
This
looks like
is,
a
oh,
question.
go
Oh,
ahead,
sorry.
Grace. No, I was just going to
Looks
say this is a great suggestion here, and in our follow-up emails after this as well, we can actually create we can put together a sample of a collection that's really good, and yeah, actually kind of give you guys some different examples along those lines. Look, yeah, in terms of can you target your ads? So when you actually set up ads, you'll be able to target based off of new customers, returning customers, or new and returning customers. As of now, we don't have targeting along the lines of like geographic or category specific targeting, but keep that feedback coming. The more that we hear from you guys on that feedback, yeah, we're talking internally about different ways to improve the ads program consistently. And just to follow up on Terry's question in the chat there, I'm seeing how long of a product description do you recommend? I would actually recommend doing 300 plus characters per product description. Right, overall, like clarity over creativity when it comes to those product descriptions. And one thing I recommend is adding in those different seasonal keywords to tap into what might be most relevant for those retailers. Awesome. Any other questions out there? If not, I can pass it over to Grace to take us home here with some key takeaways.
All right. Thank you, David. Let's take a look at some takeaways from today. The first one will be balancing spending limits. So make sure that you adjust your spending limit based on usage and seasonality. Make sure to check that out month over month in your portal as you consider changing that spending limit. The second one will be increasing relevance in search. So try to consider your impression trends. Think about optimizing your product titles, tags, categories, and making sure that your catalog is complete. And also don't forget to drive external traffic through your Faire Direct tools. And our third takeaway here is make sure you are taking the steps to improve conversion. So again, monitoring your click and conversion trends from your promoted listings tab. Be sure to keep your imagery fresh and keep an eye on your customer service metrics to make sure those stay strong. And just a quick review of some of our resources that we have available for review after today. We have a ton of resources you can check out with our learn.faire.com learning hub. You'll find the recording of this webinar there and other upcoming webinars. We have blog content. You can join social communities on Facebook. Our Help Center is a fantastic resource for any questions you have. And then you should be receiving the Goods newsletter each month. If you aren't getting that today, you'll see the option to subscribe for it in the survey at the end of the session. And then if you would like someone to walk you through setting up your first advertising campaign, please let us know in the post-webinar survey you'll see here in just a minute. We'd be happy to help you get that set up. That survey should be showing up on your screen now. It's super short and it really helps us improve and keep these sessions valuable to you. So please take a few minutes to fill that out for us. We do review all of the answers and it helps inform our future sessions. We really appreciate you taking the time to fill that out. And then while you're doing that, just want to thank all of you for joining today. We're so grateful for your time. We know you're busy, and we appreciate you taking the time to join. So again, if you have a quick minute to fill out that survey, we super appreciate it. That'll be up on your screen for a little bit longer, so you can take a second to fill that out for us. And yeah, thank you all again for your time today. We really appreciate it.